Welcome to the LEP Collaborative Podcast, the show where licensed educational psychologists, school psychs, and educational professionals come together to share stories, swap strategies, and sprinkle a little fun into our professional journeys. I'm your host, Bethany Zoeller, and in every episode, we'll dive into candid conversations, expert insights, and maybe a few surprises. Let's connect, learn, and grow collaboratively. Well, hello and welcome back to another episode of the LEP Collaborative Podcast. I am stoked to have some of my favorite LEPs here with me today. Stephanie Hewitt has been my LEP bestie for I don't know how long now. She's been putting up with me for a long time. And she is the creator of the California LEP Facebook community, which is like almost 900 strong right now, I think.
Yeah.
And then also the owner of Learning Pathways Educational Psychology in Folsom, California. And then also my girl on fire, Rachel Holowicki, is with us as well, who is the owner of Brainwaves Educational Psychology in Pacifica, California. Ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yay.
Of course.
So I want us to talk about marketing today. I have kind of in my head an idea of how this will go, but we'll see. There's three of us in a room. Who knows? We'll talk about whatever comes up. But I'd love for us to start off with kind of a marketing focus. And then I want us to chat about the LEP Summer Summit that the three of us are all participating in. And then we're going to finish up with some rapid fire LEP related, don't think about it, just answer questions. Sound okay? Oh, Rachel,
Yep.
Rachel's stressing. If you can't see her right now, there's sweat. No, just kidding. Okay, so I want you to look back. Steph, how long have you been private practicing?
Since late 2019.
2019. And Rachel, you're a couple years in as well now, right?
2022, so 4 years in.
4 years in. Okay. I want you to think back to your baby LEP self. How did you start marketing your business? What was like your first attempts? Steph, you want to go first?
Sure. I started by trying to get on SELPA and districts lists of IEE evaluators.
Okay. So was that your main focus was like, I want to do IEEs? So that
Not
was
really, not
okay.
really, but I had no idea how to go about getting clients. And
Okay.
I knew that IEEs was something that I could do as an LEP. So I thought that was like a fairly easy, tangible way to start at least getting my name out there.
Okay. Okay. Rachel, what about you? Baby Rachel, what did she do?
Baby Rachel came on your podcast, just like I'm doing right now. That's how Baby Rachel got started. Baby Rachel was the girl on fire.
She still is. She's just now very tired because she also has an infant.
Yeah, I'm the mom on fire. Yeah. So I started reaching out to LEPs. So I reached out to you. I reached out to Misty. Shout out to Misty Jungle. And I called and I just asked questions of how did you do it? What worked best for you? And I just kind of looked to people who had already done what I wanted to do. And I'm just extremely extroverted and I have a big mouth. So I just started talking about it and reaching out to people and just learning from people that had already done it.
Okay, so Steph started by like hitting the ground running, calling places, getting on lists. You went to connect with people so people knew who you were and also you had sources of information. Did that pan out?
It did. I mean, here we are, right? Like years later, we're still friends. Like clearly it's working. No, I went more the relationship route. So I started reaching out to districts too, but it was more about like building those relationships and those friendships and that camaraderie. It started more of me reaching out to LEPs, but also reaching out to therapists, to lawyers, to other mental health professionals, to OTs, to speech therapists, to pediatricians. So I started kind of building my network more like from a relationship side of things.
How do you do that though? Like, are you like going in with a box of cookies and being like, please send clients to me? Or are you doing cold calls, emails? What are you doing?
I did cold calls. I did cold calls. I did emails. I did a couple in-person visits. But yeah, I was recovering from an injury. So when I started feeling better, I just got my laptop out and made a spreadsheet and just went down the list.
Okay. And then Steph, for you, you started with IEEs. Did that lead to IEEs pretty quickly or?
A few. Yeah, a few. That was just like my first step when I was like, how do I start getting work? And then I did similar to Rachel. First I tried to like make like a a company. I mean, I didn't like incorporate for years, but I tried, like I did a DBA. I got a name, learning pathways. I got made a logo. I tried to make like a very basic website, business cards, flyers, brochures, and then I just tried to network locally. So same thing, pediatricians, therapists, OTs, SLPs, stuff like that. Um, and it was very slow for me. It took like a few years, probably close to 3 years before I felt like I had enough referrals and enough income to step away from other contract and agency work and just do this.
Okay. Did either of you do any like online platforms like a Psychology Today profile or a you're nodding. Just in case people are listening, they're nodding their heads right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so you both did Psychology Today profiles. Did you feel like that was a good source of referrals for you? Okay,
no.
because you both are more assessment focused, right? There's not a whole lot, you're not doing counseling in your practice.
Right. Yes, exactly. And I would get a lot of emails and calls from the Psychology Today profile, but they were mostly looking for counseling or therapy. So
Okay.
that wasn't, I mean, it's fairly inexpensive. I recommend having one. I do get an occasional referral from it, but it's not the most valuable source of referrals.
Okay. So as this journey has continued, have there been marketing things that you did or resources that you used that were successful or not successful that you can like highlight?
I would say definitely for IEEs, lawyers have been a game changer. And again, building those relationships. I was going in with the boxes of cookies and donuts and things like that to the lawyers because I have several lawyers that refer to me regularly and are steady sources of income that I'm so grateful for. And they share my name with districts, right? And they share my name with advocates, and it's kind of evolved from there. But definitely the lawyers have been a huge win. Things that didn't work, it's really frustrating. I did the cold emailing, cold calling, and you get a lot of no response, and that can be really like disheartening. But for every 50 emails that don't work, if one does, right? And I
True.
mean, it sounds frustrating, but it's like if you keep at it, you're bound to get something coming back.
Yeah, for me now, it is really just a lot of word of mouth and referrals. So once I had a few years under my belt and had done evaluations and like people locally were starting to like recognize my name and my company and like I think as an LEP, once you start doing work, if you do good work, you're going to grow because people are going to want to recommend you to their friends and colleagues. So now at this point, it's mostly word of mouth, um, which is awesome for me, but also hard for brand new LEPs.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss Bakersfield, having people drive from the Bay Area to Bakersfield to go work with you, Bethany. Come on now. It's super, yeah, it's frustrating and it does take time and there's going to be a lot of no's, but once you get a couple yeses, yeah, like Stephanie said, getting that word of mouth. The first couple times I had someone say like, "Oh, my friend referred," or "Our learning specialist at our school," or "Our principal," like that felt so good. And then once, a school community got my name, it spread like wildfire. And just having it become more regular from those schools and building those relationships within school communities has been really helpful.
So just for understanding purposes, how much of your marketing focus is on obtaining IEEs versus school-based contracts for like school psych services versus private practice evaluations?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I mean, like you're just throwing it out there and like whatever you get. Like how, I mean, I think all three of us have done school district contract work at some point or are still doing school contract work. I know I am. Um, how did those, for me, it came about totally like word of mouth, the same way. Like I got one and then they told their superintendent friends and then they called me. Was that similar for you guys?
Yeah, I actually had it where I was in the very beginning, I was going on EdJoin. And I was looking at the districts that needed help. So I was looking at the districts that were hiring or, or had been on EdJoin for a while. And I kind of reached out and was like, hey, I'm an independent contractor. I'm less than a full-time employee, right? You're not gonna have to pay me health benefits. You're not gonna have to worry about any of that. And that worked out really well for one of my contract districts because they're tiny. They only have like 300 kids. It's a small district. So that worked out really well for them. Some schools don't need a full-time psych, especially if it's smaller or if it's private. So that works out really well for them. It's a win-win. I get a contract and they don't have to pay for a full-time psychologist that they may not need.
I love that. I've never even thought to do that, to look and see who's hiring and then be like, hey, you could just go with a contractor. I can fill the need for now. That's a really smart idea. Steph, how did you start contracts?
They mostly just kind of came to me from, again, word of mouth. Like I have never really done like a really hard marketing like campaign where I've spent money to try and do ads or anything like that. Usually, again, it's just that word of mouth. Like I work with a program specialist and they leave and go to a different district. And then when they need a contract psych support, they think of me and reach out. I have tried cold emailing and cold calling, same thing. Like if I see a district has an opening, but those don't tend to pan out for me. It more is coming from like previous personal connections or referrals.
Okay, so
And
the
that's the thing
majority,
though, right?
oh, so
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
No, I
Sorry,
was gonna
Rachel.
say, I think that's the biggest thing is relationships. I have LEPs reach out all the time and they're like, I'm just getting started. Should I do SEO? Should I do a advertisement on Yelp? Should I do an advertisement on Google or Facebook or whatever? And I'm like, honestly, it's relationships. And I know that takes more time and effort and work, but it pays off. Like, I think people are looking for something quick to like just put on the internet and hope that it'll all come back. But it really takes investment in building those relationships. And like Stephanie said, word of mouth. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's
Agree
perfect.
completely.
It's perfect. So where are your biggest referral sources, let's say for private evaluations in your office? Like where are you getting those? Where are those originating from? Is that all word of mouth?
Private schools. Honestly, a lot of the private
Okay.
schools. To be fair, though, I'm in the Bay Area, right? And there's so many private schools. There's Catholic schools, there's Jewish schools, there's gifted schools, there's all sorts of different private options. And I know you guys are in more rural areas where there aren't as many private schools. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Bay Area is just saturated with private schools. So they don't offer IEPs, right? They don't offer special education or they don't offer psychological testing. So that's been a huge referral source for private evals for me.
Okay. Steph, what about you?
There are a few local pediatricians and physicians that tend to refer to me for patients that are wondering about autism or ADHD, also some local therapists. And then again, just like I sound like a broken record, but just word of mouth, like a new client will call me and say, oh, you tested my neighbor or my friend, or you tested my other kid. Like a lot of them just come organically that way.
Do you get a lot of family groups? Like I will have like I'll test the one and then I
Yes.
test the sibling and then I may
And
test the
then,
dad later,
yes,
you
yep,
know?
I
Okay.
do.
Yeah, I always am like, should I offer a punch card? Like, like three
Family
assessments and you get
discount.
one free?
Yep. My record is three kids. Three
Oh,
kids from
that's
the same
awesome.
family. And then, yeah, I do. I tend not to assess adults just because it's not my jam. I just love working with kids. But I was in a feedback call the other day and the mom looked at the dad and she's like, you should get tested. And she's like, and your mom should get tested too. And there, I was like, there's a genetic component. You're not wrong.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yes. Apple tree. Yeah,
Yeah.
we see that a lot.
I tested a adult. I mean, she was 20 when I tested her about a year ago. And then I guess she's been working on her dad for the year and being like, Dad, you need, so he came in for testing this last week. Because it's definitely impacting his work.
Mm.
But it was cute because he's like, my daughter's already diagnosed me. I don't know why I'm coming, but maybe you can tell me how to, manage my stuff at work better. And I'm like, cool, let's do it.
Aw.
Um, yeah, okay. So we talked about baby Steph and baby Rachel LEP journey. I want to know, what does your marketing look like now? What marketing things are you currently doing to get business coming into your office?
I hired a virtual assistant, and I know that you all can speak to this too of what a game changer this is. I have my virtual assistant, Stephanie, I love you, thank you. She just reaches out and she does all the cold calling, cold emailing, and reaching out to people now. So I constantly, that's like a whole separate job. Like marketing is a job, marketing is a field, right? So I just have her doing that all the time now and reaching out to people. So that's a great strategy. And then I did join a paid organization for the marketing side of things on Facebook that markets to moms specifically. That's my client base, right? Parents and parents of kids with special needs. So it's called the Mama Hood. So I joined that, and that's been a huge game changer for me as well.
That's cool. I'm gonna have to look that up. The mamahood. How about you, Steph? What's your marketing life look like now?
I am trying to work on this right now because I am in a period of growth. I have hired about 8 LEPs that are subcontracting with me. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing.
I am trying to grow. So I've been working with Emily over at Client Obsession, who's amazing. They've been helping me with some kind of behind the scenes things like Google Business Profile, kind of SEO stuff, kind of like refining my branding and logo and colors and all of that, just like optimizing all that. I'm possibly gonna redo my website. Um, that's my main focus for now.
Are you gonna do any ads, like a Google ad or anything like that?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
Not anytime soon, but maybe I would consider it
Yeah.
if I needed to.
I've done them in the past and I get very mixed results. I had to shut my last one off because it stopped like funneling the right people to me. Even though I like checked and looked at all the messages that were supposed to send it to me, I started getting calls and they'd be like, "Hey, I'm calling about the job." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But those were calls that I was having to pay for because it came through the ad.
Oh,
And so I
oh,
shut it off, but I may hire someone to actually do it in the future
yeah.
because I think like Steph, we're kind of in the same world that we want to move away from depending as much on school contracts as our main like revenue source and IEEs to doing more private practice work. But since we
Yes.
can only do private pay, that can be a limitation to a lot of the families. So I'm like, how do I get my name out there? How do I price it so it's accessible? All of those things.
And this
Yeah.
might be a
It's a
good
lot to think
segue.
about.
This might be a good segue too. I've been doing a lot of conferences. So I've been doing conferences, and that's a really great way to reach a lot of people at once. I'm doing one for Parenting You. I just did some speaking engagements for some private schools in the Bay Area. And maybe that's a great segue, right? But thinking about conferences, you're getting your name out there to a lot of people at the same time.
Well, let's talk about conferences, shall we? So we are all a part of the upcoming summer. It has a really long name. Okay. And I said this when I talked to Erin on the last podcast episode, because we are working under Misty Bonta, who's amazing. Shout out to her again.
Love that.
We are working under her Get Psyched umbrella. She was gracious enough to allow us to join kind of her team for this. But then we're also Five Minds because there's five of us and we think it sounds cool, right?
Yep.
But so we are the Get Psyched Five Minds LEP Summer Summit. Let's just call it the Summer Summit because
Yes.
if not, this podcast is going to be really long. I would love to hear your impressions on why are we doing this? Someone share. Like what led to the creation of this summit? Rachel, you look like you're ready to share this.
Well, a girls' trip, if we're being really honest.
Woo!
We went on a girls' trip. I was Dee Dee the whole time because I was pregnant, but we have to redo that one. No, so we were on a girls' trip and we were just saying, like, how can we collaborate? We all really enjoy each other personally and professionally. How can we come together and use our five minds to do something really exciting? And we talked about, all the school psychs and ourselves being school psychs and our journeys to get to being LEPs and how burnt out we were and tired and overworked and how we were able to kind of forge our own path and create our own careers and our businesses. So we wanted to share some of our expertise and some of our journeys. So we're gonna be doing that free presentation first. So that you can kind of like dip your toe in and see if you're LEP curious, if you want to see what we are going to be talking about. We have that free presentation about going from overwhelmed to owning it. And then our big summit, our SS, our S squared, if you will, is going to be all of us presenting on our areas of expertise. So I'm going to be talking about early childhood. I'm going to be talking about giftedness and twice exceptionality. And we're all kind of bringing our unique expertise to the table to share with other LEPs.
Yay. Right. Stephanie, is there anything like that you're looking forward to in this conference? Like as a person who gets to listen?
Yes. Yes, so much. I'm really, really excited about this. And one thing I want to mention too is just the three of us are just so lucky to have our group of five minds. Like there are five of us LEPs that are all in private practice, and we've formed really deep friendships over the last few years. Like not only friendships, but also just like colleagues and mentors, like so much. And like I'm probably speaking for all five of us, but I'm so grateful for our group. And I just feel really lucky to have you guys, because working as an LEP, especially when you're starting out, can feel very isolating and alone. And oftentimes you feel like you have no idea what you're doing. You wish you had a colleague to bounce ideas off of, to get advice from. So we have that just in our small group. And when we had that girls' getaway, we were like, gosh, what if we could offer even a tiny snippet of this to other LEPs, because it's so valuable. So that's kind of one way that the summit came about, because we want to offer that connection and mentorship to other LEPs that might not have it.
Yeah. I love it. No, we are. I don't know. Like, I tried to remember like who brought who into this group of five. We think we just kind of naturally found each other, and then it
Yeah.
became a group text. But I mean, we don't go a couple of days without connecting with each other or sharing some resource or just like
No,
giving a life update. So we are
right?
very, very
Yeah.
blessed to have that. And so, Steph, you're talking about IEEs, I believe, and DSM and what's the
Report.
and report. Oh
Report
yeah, that's one you do with
writing.
me. Ha!
Yes. Yes.
Report writing. So is there anything that you would like be like a sneak peek about what we kind of might talk about?
Yes, I would love to. Report writing, I love report writing. And I love the topic of report writing, because when you are an LEP, you don't have to follow a district template. You don't have to follow IDEA requirements unless you are doing like an IEE or a contractor assessment. But for private practice, you are in the driver's seat. You can write your reports however you want. And my reports look very different from the traditional psychoed reports that most of us are trained in or that we write in the school setting. So specifically, Beth and I use a reverse pyramid model where we almost flip the traditional report style upside down, and we start with the summary and impressions and diagnoses, and then recommendations, and then everything else is like in the appendices. So it's wildly different from what most psychs are used to, and I absolutely love it. So I am really excited to share that with other LEPs.
Yeah, no, it's a game changer. We were that part of our Five Minds group chat the other day was talking about report writing length. And Steph and I are both like, meh, there's maybe 20 on if we really have a lot to say when it's all put together. Because we have completely flipped the script. And just like, because my brain is all over the place. Stephanie, I noticed that you commented on a message that was posted on the testing psychologist the other day where
Yeah.
the person was like, hey, the person is refusing to come to the feedback session. What do I do? Like, I can't release.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't even want to send their report because they felt it was so imperative to hold that feedback session. And I commented on it saying, like, for me personally, it's very important that my reports are written in a reader friendly, understandable way. Like, I don't think someone should need me to interpret or translate the report from all this jargon into something they understand. I hope the average person can pick up my report and really understand that person and what I learned about them in my assessment.
Yep. I know this isn't actually common practice, but I send my reports to people as a draft, but 2 to 3 days before our feedback meeting. So
Yeah.
they have a chance to actually look over it beforehand. And like the best compliment that I can get as a person who wrote the report is to go into the feedback session and say,
Yeah.
well, you had a chance to review the report. Let's start with any questions that you have. And they say to me, no, I don't have any questions. Like I am
Right.
like greatest compliment I can possibly get. And I got that one yesterday. She was like, no, she called me babe like 9 million times. No, babe, it's
Oh,
totally perfect. Yeah, she's like, that was my kid. I read it and I knew exactly. Yep, you saw my kid exactly who she was. She's like, I'm printing this report out. I already took it to regional center. I already took it to wherever. And I was like, yay. But like that, we get really excited when we do this presentation too, because we've done it now
Yeah.
at CASP and then we went to Hawaii and we did it again. And maybe next year we'll go like, I don't know, we should go to Canada or somewhere new. I don't know. We'll think
Yes.
about it.
Australia,
Oh, yeah. Wow.
overseas.
Yes. Rachel's gonna have to join the report writing club because we're going places. Um,
I need to do better. I've been in the presentation. It's a great presentation. I need to make mine shorter. Mine are way too long. So it's an area of growth for me. And I'm so grateful for your guidance on that. I was thinking now that we mentioned CASP, I think that's where it really took off was when we were at CASP and we all had, that was the first time we met in person. And we were all
Yes.
like, oh, you're a real person. Oh my gosh. And like I remember like Misty like hug tackled me. And that was kind of, I think, the catalyst for Five Minds.
and
Yeah.
that's how I met Steph is I butted in on her conversation at a report writing. It was the year before we were at CASP together and I was sitting in front of her, I
Oh,
think,
yes.
and she was talking to people behind me and I'm, super ADHD and intrusive. And so I hear her talking with these people about this report writing style that she's just found from Dr. Stephanie Nelson and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I
Yep.
know this. And I'm like jumping into the conversation. And so she's been stuck with me ever since.
Yes. Love it.
Yes, it's not, but I want to say the first time all five of us were together was for our girls'
Field
weekend.
trip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my only time I got to hang out with Erin in person, and she's good people. I should be in person more
Yeah.
often. She tells me I need to go to Soul Food, Soul
Oh, this is
something.
so good. Yes, it's in San Rafael. That's in Marin.
She told me I had to ask Rachel. She was like, Rachel will know what I'm talking about. I'm like,
I
okay.
do know, and it was delicious. I agree with her.
All right, we are going to wrap up today's episode, that's the word, with some rapid fire questions. And I've only ever done this with one person. So I have to figure out like if we just want to like whoever wants to jump in first.
Okay.
Okay, that's how we're gonna do it. Okay. First question. Coffee or tea?
Coffee. I'm
Tea.
drinking because it's too late in the day, but coffee. Anyone who knows me, coffee.
Steph was a tea.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't like coffee.
Okay. Do you have a flavor? What's your flavor, Steph?
I like chai.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm into this Christmas in Paris flavor right now is my go-to flavor. And
Fancy.
it's like lavender, chocolate, and mint.
Oh my God, I want that. I'm doing
Yeah.
lemon ginger right now purely because it's 2:40 in the afternoon, but I'm a beverage goblin. So much coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Early bird.
Okay. Okay. Favorite IQ test?
Whisk.
The new WJ. WJ5. I
I
love
knew
it.
you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say
Love
that.
it.
Rachel is a whisker. Like I think for your
Whisker.
area, she has to be, right? Like, don't you have to do like a ton of IQ tests for all those private school kids?
I do.
Aren't you just
I do. I
like,
was trained on the whisk. So like that was in Illinois, the whisk is a lot more popular. And when I came to California, I had never given the WJ. So the WJ is a lot more prevalent here.
I'm a Rios girl.
I do love that one
We do a
too.
lot of Rios, yeah.
I'm a
The
Rios
Larry P also isn't a thing in Illinois. It's just California. So that was kind of a pivot for me.
One word to describe your LEP journey.
Uh,
I would say rewarding.
can it be a phrase? Can I cheat?
Sure.
Fine. I'm the girl on fire, but like baptism by fire. Like it was literally
Okay.
baptism by fire. It was kind of like necessity. I needed to do it.
Are you reading any books right now? If so, what are they?
I'm reading Layla by Colleen Hoover.
That's a good one. I love Colleen Hoover. I am rereading Project Hail Mary before the movie comes out next month, and it is like one of my favorite books ever.
I just finished it today, this morning.
Oh my God, did you love it?
Oh my gosh, it's the best. But
It's-
like I couldn't get through The Martian because it was just too the language was I'm a prude. You guys know this about me. And I'm like I can only do so many F-bombs, right? Like I
Yeah.
can't.
Oh,
And the movie is like my favorite, one of my top 10 absolute favorite movies. And so I was like, oh, I should listen. And that was just I loved it. The Audible book, highly recommend.
Incredible. Amazing.
I don't know that I
Amazing,
know about you
amazing.
because I drop a lot of F-bombs. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But I
Like a
can't, I don't
lot.
know. Like I don't think I've ever told you my life story. I'm a Southern Baptist preacher's kid, Rachel.
You're
So
PK.
like I was raised, Like no cigarettes, no alcohol,
No
no
cussing.
dancing, no cussing. Like so even though I have expanded who I am since that my childhood, there's some things they run deep, you know.
That's fair. I went
If
to
you
Catholic school, so I don't know what happened to me, but
if you hear me swear, that means I'm really upset. Like to me, it's like watch out, world. Ooh, I like this one. This might be what we end with. Is dream vacation spot.
ooh, I think Bali's on my list. I really want to go to
Ooh,
Bali.
yes, that sounds amazing.
I want to go to all the Disneyland
Oh, how cute.
parks, like Paris, Shanghai.
That's awesome. Which
I'm a
ones have
Disney
you just been
girl,
to the California one? Have you been to
and
Florida yet?
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which would you go to next?
I'll
Like,
go to Tokyo Disney with you. It's cheaper to go to Tokyo
Tokyo.
Disney.
Let's do it. Our next Girls Five Minds Disney.
yeah. Is there a
I love
conference we can
Disney.
talk at in Japan? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I better wrap this up, but you guys are fun. You guys, we're gonna do this again, right? Like
Okay,
a
anytime.
new topic, new whatever. So thank you guys for both being here. Thank you to all that are listening to this. We hope that this conversation is inspiring and gives you some resources. And we really hope to see you at all of the free things that we are doing in the future, as well as the big conference in June. So we'll end it there. But thank you for listening and have an amazing day.
Thank you.
Thanks.